Wow.
They pose in Christmas cards with guns as big as all the children.
Yeah. It's those little details that just absolutely just get my goat. I love it.
Ain't nothing.
Yes. Oh, it's just fucking glorious songwriting. I can't. Hello. Welcome to this video. My name is Dan, aka Lucen. I am a person who loves music. I love making music. I love listening to music. I love digging in to the lyrics. Yeah. and today I'm going to be reacting to Hayley Williams's ego death at a Bachelorette party. Finally, I'm doing it. Let's go. I'm excited to finally get into this album. Everyone's obviously been telling me it's amazing. I'll tell you what I was going to do. Yeah, it was going to be in October. I was going to film it and then schedule it so that it was like going out while I was away. And then Lily Allen obviously put her album out and it ended up becoming a massive deal. So that ended up like booting it down. And then Rosalia put her album out, so then got booted again. And so here we are in January and I'm like, finally, okay, we've got some time. 20 tracks. So obviously this came out. We had it was like a weird thing, right? My friend Ash, who's like he's a big Paramore guy, was saying that like, apparently it was a bit of a choose your own adventure type thing with the fans. I'm quite excited to get into this because like I've always kind of liked Paramore as a band and I really liked the one with the pink cover. Hard Times and everything. What was that called? I can't remember. Anyway, I really love that album. Hard Times. And I got to see Paramore perform live supporting for Taylor Swift. So that was great as well. I've listened to like bits and bobs of Hayley's like solo stuff, but I don't think I've actually sat down and listened to one of her projects. Okay, so I've heard like a couple of songs because my patrons on the requests tier threw in a couple of songs in September, October because they couldn't wait any longer for me to hear some of the songs. So I've heard Glum and I've heard the Shibuya one, but the other 18 songs I have not heard. Yeah, let's do it. But before we do it, if you're new to the channel, then welcome to this little mini microcosm of music lovingness. I love to really dive into my music on a like in-depth level. Even on my first listen, it's all about like piecing apart the lyrics, talking about the production, talking about melodies and everything, and really appreciating and trying to understand where the artist is coming from. So if you love a reaction that has a little bit more depth, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you love my content and you want to get more, then there's loads going on Patreon, including like bonus album reactions that are voted for by the patrons, but also like other kind of general videos that like wouldn't do well on YouTube. So like, for instance, I'm going to be doing like Grammy predictions and reacting to the Grammy live performances and stuff. Last year, I started doing like videos where I returned to albums a few weeks after they've come out. Yeah, so there's loads of extra stuff going on Patreon. And so if you want like a bit more of a fully fleshed content from me, then consider going over there. The tiers start from £3. So what that is in your currency, but it's affordable for some, but not for others. But if it's not affordable for you, then there is also the free tier where you can follow for up-to-date bits and bobs and actually get a direct line to me in terms of seeing exactly what's going on. As always, make sure to let me know what your top 5 songs are in the comments. If you haven't seen that before, that's something that everybody does on the channel, and I love going through everybody's top 5 songs from the album. And this one has like 20 songs, so I feel like everyone's going to probably have different top 5. So yeah, I'm excited to see what your favorites are. Leave it in the comments. Okay, so song number 1 is Ice in My OJ. I'm just going to sort this out because I don't like this. Okay, let's go. Is it supposed to sound this far away? Yes. Nice. Cool. Cool. Huh. I quite enjoy the way that it's like kind of has like a bit of a languid kind of feeling, like she's a bit disassociated, I think. And then like these moments are really kind of rageful. It's really cool. Like the emotions like bursting through. Nice. Really cool. Yeah, I love the kind of like grungy element of it. I love the way that the verses kind of have, this kind of languid feeling. She's a bit cross-eyed, a bit like unfocused. You can hear it all in her voice. It's very interesting because it kind of creates quite an interesting kind of juxtaposition then when you have that kind of hook sections with the kind of very forward guitar and that almost like kind of screaming in the background, like the distorted vocals, the emotions kind of bursting through, but it's almost like a barely suppressed scream. That's kind of really what it gives me. So yeah, there's a real sense of frustration, making other people rich, maybe this seems to be like a kind of post-career, the mistakes I've made along the way type, not post-career, but late career. These are the mistakes I made along the way kind of thing. I'm spinning in circles and I can't deny, flirting on your love like a butterfly got me jumping inside, thinking about you. No secrets, no games to play. It's all right. It's okay. Never felt this way. So it's like in a real kind of, what's the word I'm trying to say? Earnest. Quite an earnest way of kind of saying like, I'm in love and there's no complications. There's nothing going on. There's no games. Chill, but also lovely, which is really nice. But then she's screaming, I'm in a band. I got ice in my OJ. I'm a card hold bitch. A lot of dumb motherfuckers that I made rich. I'm in a band. Yeah, it feels like she's found somebody, but her work, her presence in the band and what she kind of is required to do is frustrating her. It's like, this is getting in the way of something that I've always wanted, something that could be quite good, for me. So that frustration, I feel like, comes from the work-life balance, I think. I wonder what the ice in the OJ is referring to. It could be like watering down the feeling of it. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one then. This is Glum, which I have heard before. In the wake of your sunshine, the vocal effect here is so clever. Because it again gives this feeling of disassociation, Stick around till dark. I This is just such a gorgeous melody, such a great eruption into the chorus. Like the contrast is great between the verse and chorus. A sense of melancholy in it. Oh, God. Yeah. It also kind of reminds me of like kind of early Paramore stuff, but with a more modern storytelling sensibility, Oh, it's just so good. This is just such a brilliantly put together song. It's just, oh God, yeah. It just captures this real sense of nostalgia, this real sense of melancholy. Oh, it's gorgeous. In the wake of your sunshine, I've never felt so glum. Oh God, just like the way that there's just something about Hayley Williams where she can capture like this nostalgic feeling. Me and fellow reactor Ben Shouts, who you probably know, I'd imagine, if you're watching this reaction, because I know he's a big Paramore guy. He came onto my podcast and did an episode about Paramore, like, and some of their underrated songs. And like, oh God, what was it called? One of the songs he picked just reminded me of that. Yeah, that's from All We Know Is Falling. Is it Franklin? I think it was Franklin, yeah. Yeah, it kind of gave me like that really early Paramore feeling. And we also talked a lot on the podcast about her being able to capture a sense of nostalgia. And it really kind of feels like this song connects into that, not only by reminding us of like some of the earlier songs from her and the band's kind of, earliest albums, but also just in the warmth in it, in the sounds of it. Yeah, and the melodies and everything. I don't know, it just really takes it there, doesn't it? It's just, it really captures the sense of nostalgia. It's kind of a little bit ineffable, but yeah, just brilliant. Yeah. And like, I love like the way that the vocal effect, it's almost like a pitched and formant changed vocal effect. So it kind of, it doesn't feel too chipmunky. It kind of feels like just a little bit alien, you know, just to kind of say like, look, this is Hayley Williams, but like there's something that's disconnecting us from her. And there's something in her where she feels disconnected, you know. Very subtle and great production, storytelling thing. It's proper kind of like wintry as well. It's really giving me that. Just the feeling in it. It's just, In the wake of your sunshine, I've never felt so glum. Think I've made up of moonlight. Don't reach quite as far, but I still show up. Yeah, okay, so we've got loneliness, like in the wake of your sunshine, coming into contact with somebody and being with somebody who the sunshine of being with them is so beautiful that afterwards you kind of get the come down, you know, you get this feeling of glum melancholy that kind of feels like it doesn't match up to what you had. I love also the opposites of sunshine and moonlight, like if they're the sunshine, she's the moonlight. And then the real loneliness in the chorus of like, do you ever feel so alone that you can implode and no one will even know? Like that is just like such a kind of lonely thing to consider. And I love how that comes out when it's like full voice, you know. Spaced out at a stoplight, who's laying on the horn? Because it's in tune with this song. Probably got a head on the horn, like my life, you know. I love that it's in tune with the song, like that discordant sound like fits in with this song, fits in with how I'm feeling. On my way to 37 years, I don't know if I'll ever know what the lovely living I'm doing here. Yeah, so like in this kind of glum situation she finds herself, she's questioning everything, and the weight of kind of being 37 and still not kind of understanding your purpose is really kind of weighing on her at this stage. And it's quite an interesting kind of millennial phenomenon, you know, that we're kind of the first generation to kind of reach this age and have this kind of thing. Because we've kind of come of age in like a wealthier, kind of more prosperous kind of time, I suppose, in a way. We've had these opportunities to kind of live life in a slightly different way. Like her to kind of like not get married and not have kids and to be a pop star and all that kind of stuff. But in lots of different ways, our generation is kind of, we don't have a template to follow. When you have all the options, sometimes it can feel like you're paralyzed by indecision. And so there's this feeling of like, listlessness and almost like a side effect of the beautiful things that we do have out of the kind of more free lifestyle of the modern day. But yeah, it's a very interesting thing to kind of like think about, and she captures that so well on this, like in a real kind of down to earth way. Right, okay, let's go on to the next one then. This is, what is it? Kill Me. Oh, why is this like giving me Police? Something about that like muted guitar thing. It's cool. Ah, okay. Yeah, wow.
Go ahead and kill me. Can't get much stronger. Another soldier. Go ahead and kill me. Can't get much stronger.
Yeah. I love this like kind of rhythm, you know, it feels kind of really tight.
'Cause either way we live in your blood. Go ahead and kill.
Yeah. These songs are just like really just good on like a base level. They're just good, aren't they? You know, well put together, satisfyingly written.
Go ahead and kill me. Can't get much stronger. Another soldier. Go ahead and kill me. Can't get much stronger.
There's like the kind of pressure of like living up to certain expectations, I think, and the way that she's just like, F it all, you know. Great, really, yeah, it's super satisfyingly put together. I love the kind of pluck, like the just the rhythm in it, the instinctual kind of like, yeah, really just You can tell when someone's in a band because the sense of rhythm is just always like so good. And like that song just had that completely. Loved it. Really, really, really good. I'm really enjoying like there's relatable sounds, but the stories that we're telling so far in each of the songs feel like new steps forward for pop music, feel like new steps forward for storytelling within pop. I'm enjoying that like 2025, we've had a lot of new albums specifically towards the end of the year that kind of really reinvent the way in which we tell stories through pop music. You know, think Lily Allen, think Rosalia, you know, and Hayley Williams is right there as well. I'm really enjoying this. Eldest daughters never miss their chances to learn the hardest lessons again and again. Carrying my mother's torment. I think I'm where the bloodline ends. So, oh my God, there's so much to unpack from that. Obviously, we have this kind of eldest daughter complex. And this is something that recognizing my older sister, it's their parents' first child. They're making all the mistakes. And then the second child kind of like gets the benefit of like the parents learning from those mistakes. But then there's also this kind of like pressure for the eldest daughter to kind of like live up to some sort of like protective kind of thing. They always have to have their shit together. They always have to know what they're doing. They always have to kind of like, be the one who's like kind of protective, you know, put on a good front. So that's obviously a big part of it. But carrying my mother's torment, we've now got like familial trauma that's getting passed down through the generations. I never do the right thing again. Go ahead and kill me. Can't get much stronger. Find another soldier, go ahead and kill me. I don't wonder what can't get much stronger is. Eldest daughter comes to stop the cycle. A job you never asked for is paying in dust. Setting down your mother's torment, save yourself and make room for us. Because either way, we live in your blood. Ooh. I guess like there's a sense of like, if you just off me, familial trauma, the passed down trauma, it's gone. You know, we're in your blood whether you like it or not. And so the only answer is death. I'm sorry that you're going through something hard. It says in capital letters, just in case you realize. Maybe it's like I'm giving up on the kind of eldest daughter being the expectation. You may as well just like forget all those expectations. I guess the idea is that like she's like trying to renounce that in maybe quite a dramatic way. Go ahead and kill me. Right, next one. This is Whim.
Baby, take it easy.
Ooh.
We're starting something new.
Oh, I like this. I like that acoustic guitar.
It always tells the truth.
Cute. It almost sounds kind of MIDI, the guitar, doesn't it? Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love the kind of almost like chibi electronic vibes that we have in the chorus there. This is lush. I love this.
Gets you to the truth, but listen now, the heartbeat lying next to him.
Oh, I love that. I just love that. Oh, so nice. I love this like real optimism that's come after a song called Kill Me. Also, I love this kind of like another kind of more earnest song. Ooh. Oh, this is so lush. I love it. Oh, it's just so gorgeously put together. I just love the feeling of this. It's so beautiful. It also reminds me of like Porter Robinson or something, like that kind of like slightly like pitched vocal, the glistening quality, that feeling of optimism that she captures in it. It's lush, really nice. Yeah, what a lovely vibe. Just again, like just expertly put together, really catchy, really satisfying. The melodies are beautiful. The production really gives you such a strong sense of like optimism and like beauty. It's kind of like a beautiful day looking out of the clouds, but she's still dreaming of something, you know? It's like, I want to be in love. It's not like I'm in love. It's almost like the song is trying to will this feeling into the world, you know? She hasn't quite got it, but like the song is so optimistic that it sounds like she has, you know, almost like manifesting. Just beautiful. Love it. Baby, take it easy when starting something new. Listen how the heart beats. It always tells the truth. So it's the beginning of a relationship. It's like We need to like not put too much pressure on it. We need to let something grow, let it breathe, you know. Take it easy when following a whim. Like follow those whims. Like it's a sense of like whim, like the whimsical, like it has a kind of whimsical quality. Allow those kind of whimsical things, follow those whimsical things, like allow the joy to kind of grow and listen to how the heart beats when next to him. I love that because it's like has that physical sense of intimacy when you're lying next to somebody and you can hear their heartbeat, but like it's also like, no, don't just like hear the heartbeat, listen to it and understand what it is that he wants, you know, understand what it is that he needs, understand what it is that the two of you need in order to allow this to grow, you know. Don't try and like fix everything, just listen, you know. Bare feet on the concrete, freckles on your knees. Love it. So searching for a blood stain, bandages are clean. Yes, like this idea that like if you're constantly looking for problems to fix, then what are you doing? You know, the bandages are clean. Like there's no problems. Just allow it. Let go, you know. I love the kind of the freckles on the knees and the bare feet on the it's like trying to return to a sense of like childhood, like innocence, you know. Again, that nostalgia. I want to be in love. I want to believe in us. Sans without sabotage, right? Sans, that means, baby, take it easy, you're always on the move. Something in this stillness gets you to the truth. Oh, fuck off. Oh, God, that's so good. And I know you took a beating. I know it's all a risk, but listen to how the heart beats lying next to him. Oh, God, that's so beautiful. Sunshine through the curtain, music in my head, still be singing to you long after we're dead. Oh, God, I just adore. There's something in the stillness gets you to the truth. Oh, my God, it's like you're not trying to like overcompensate. You're not trying to find something. You're just listening. You're just being quiet. You're just learning how to love one another in the intimate moments, allowing it to happen naturally. It's just perfect. I love it. Just beautiful, beautiful songwriting that just feels so like moving and so real. Oh, just great. Really. Oh, I love it. And it's like, even though I know that you've been hurt in the past and you want to try and like manage the situation, you have to learn to just let go and not try and, you know, overcomplicate things, because that's where it all goes wrong. You might get hurt, but you just have to let go. You just have to like trust it, you know. Oh, God, I love it. Beautiful. Right, let's get back into it because there is a lot of songs to get through. Cool. Okay, next one is Metazipene. Metazipene, presumably some medication. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Love the panned guitars. That's so good.
For when the heart's a sinking stone, for when you're crying at the sky,
Oh,
and losing all your appetite.
love those chords.
I had to write a song about her. Who
Ooh. So it's like a love song for some medication. I love how those guitars almost like kind of upset the harmonic story. They kind of give this more jagged edge. This is so clever. God, she is just like, just such a good songwriter. Do you know what I mean? Like, it all just comes together. Really cool. Yeah. Maybe it's like an antidepressant. It's almost like maybe like giving her a break from the anxiety or whatever. And maybe these sections are supposed to be that anxiety, you know? Sick. Just, again, super well written. The melodies are great. The hookiness is great. That one really felt like a love song to some medication, but like really kind of had like the bite of it, especially that like nah, nah, the kind of discordant chromatic kind of guitar, just add like an extra level of bite to it. It's just, yeah, really good. For when the heart's a sinking stone that's smashing, fusing to your bones. Wow, that's so cool. When you're crying at the sky and losing all your appetite. Here come my genie in a screw tap bottle. Oh, that's so good. I could never be without her. I had to write a song about her. Who am I without you now? Metazipene. You make me eat, you make me sleep. You let me dream, you let me dream. I mean, it's an interesting question, like, who am I without you now? Which I think kind of like, although on the surface, this drug allows me to kind of live my life, to kind of like break through the fuzz of potentially anxiety or depression. I'm not sure like what it's about. And actually like allow me to kind of function, you know. There is also that question in there which adds that extra level of depth and alarm, which is, who am I without you? Like, am I completely dependent on you? And I suppose that kind of therefore gives this song like two different levels that it works on, especially when you consider the way that that guitar feels quite discordant, you know. Yeah, something to think about. Very interesting. Right, next one. This is Disappearing Man. Well, I'm quite enjoying the vocal chopping.
Now I understand how you feel abandoned at a depth you would never share with me.
Wow, abandoned at a depth that you would never share. That is what. Love the harmony in those guitars, like.
Disappearing man, you can really have anyone, and you had me. Just like I said, to come.
I love the composition of the guitars. It kind of gives it this like tumbling kind of quality. It's lush.
Hold my breath.
Yeah, not coming back.
My final act of love was surrender.
Yeah, it's like maybe trying to understand why this person would leave, you know. Yeah, wow. I love that as a little hook, like using vocal chops in this style. Because you usually hear like chopping in more like experimental, hyper poppy, or like hip hop music. But to hear it in kind of soft rock, you know, I don't know, there's something quite cool about that, you know. Analysing her own dependence on people, you know. Yeah. So it's her, yeah, like her being able to let go of this guy who's disappeared. It's like the healthiest thing she can do, you know? Cool. Yeah, again, another just brilliantly written song. Like, I just feel like she's just really hit her stride in this moment. Like, you can definitely hear the connection to the Paramore stuff, but I don't know, like, maybe because it's a solo project, she can get more into like kind of psychologically into her own head rather than it being like the band's perspective or whatever. It feels like these songs connect to the way that she was songwriting early on, but feels so much more like grown up and so much more adult, you know? It's like, it's a similar thing to how I said with Lily Allen. It's almost like bringing what they were always great at, but like reinterpreting it. Somebody who is in their mid to late 30s and has a different perspective on life and has grown as a songwriter. The songs are just really like, they have that kind of nostalgic thing. They feel like ear candy, that they're really nice to listen to. And yet there's always this extra layer of depth, you know? It's just great. It's great. Now I understand how you feel abandoned, because you've now abandoned me at a depth you would never share with me. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's like you are clearly like traumatized to a level at which like you would never be able to understand yourself, let alone even share with me, you know? I tried to make it to the bottom, suck out all the poison, but in the end I had no choice but to surface and surrender. Yeah, so it's like I tried to fix you, but I realized that wasn't doable. Disappearing man, you could really have anyone and you had me. Why'd you let go? You could really have anyone except for me, I suppose. Now, somebody who's left, she's like, I know something's wrong with you. He's done a disappearing act. And she's like, we had it all together. We could have figured it out. And yet you've gone. Because I know better than to hold my breath for too long now. Yeah. Love, you're not the only one who was lonely. My final act of love was surrender. She's like, I understand, like I have demons myself. There are things that I'm dealing with myself. And now I understand when to just let go of the situation. She got to the point where she was like, I understand that I can't fix you. And so I'm letting go. And that's my final act of love before you go, you know. I could really have anyone except for you, I suppose. So it goes. This spring mare that's thin as air with wild hair. There was no conditions to my love. Yeah, it was endless. Until there was no you to hold. Yeah. Love it. I had unconditional love for you until like you just disappeared. And I love the way that she twists it at the end, because she's like, as much as I would like to, and maybe there's still part of me that would love to still be in love with you and to still be with you, you're gone and I need to let go of you, you know? So I really love the idea that she's kind of turned it around and she's like, I've got to be the one that disappears. I've got to let go, you know? Yeah. Really just a great conceit and really, really well put, you know? Right, next one. This is Love Me Different. Ooh. Interesting synth there. Huh. Yeah, okay. Huh. That was so good. Yeah. I love the kind of sense of optimism that she's managing to find, you know? She's almost like willing herself to like move on and like understand that someone in the future might actually give her what she needs, you know? Gotta look after myself better. Yeah. Very good, very good. I love the way that she manages to like bring in some quite complex storytelling things into stuff that still just sounds really hooky and really poppy, you know? It's just, yeah, very well done. Yeah, like I want someone to love me different, but maybe the true understanding at the center of that song is that she needs to learn how to love herself a bit better, you know, or in a slightly different way in order to maybe be ready to take that on, you know? Yeah, really great. Interesting vibe, different, like the arpeggio in the synth, I thought added kind of like a slightly different wrinkle to the sound design. Yeah, it really does feel like somebody who is a guitar-led musician who's in a band making an album in their room. Do you know what I mean? It kind of has all of that to it, you know? I said my very best for you. Friends to lovers trope came true. You said that I deserve someone who knows what I'm worth. Now I wonder, what am I worth to you? Yeah, well, I know you're probably telling yourself that no one's going to love me like you did. And I know you're probably right about that, but someone's going to love me different. Yeah, I like that idea that it's like moving on from a relationship and understanding that maybe in the future, you probably won't have a relationship that is exactly the same as the one that you had before, but understanding that that's not necessarily a bad thing. And actually maybe different is good, you know? Eliza tells me I'll be fine. Therapist? Maybe. Like there's something better for me down the line. Or maybe it's just a mate. But nothing could compare to the potential greatest love of all time. Pleasure and agony is all mine. And I want someone to love me different. Endless hours of therapy, 2 prescriptions, no good routines. Guess I'm the one who's got to love me differently. Endless scrolling up till 3. Alex Reed's Tarot reads the shit out of me. I don't know who Alex Reed's Tarot is, but it's probably some TikToker. And she's like, oh, I come across this TikToker that's reading tarot for me. And it's like, oh God, a bit of a light bulb. Like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, no, I'm the one who's got to love me differently. Yeah, see, it's just very clever. Like to kind of take this initial concept for a song, you know, about like, I'm waiting for somebody to love me differently, to love me better than you did, and to move on. And then to kind of have like a little twisty realization sung in that really breathy, intimate way where she's like, maybe actually I got to start looking after myself. You know, it just adds such a brilliant extra dimension to the song. It's so great. Right, next one. This is Brotherly Hate.
Brotherly love, brotherly hate. Don't it sometimes feel like the same thing?
That's funny. I love this kind of chromatic descent in the chorus. Very cool. Ooh. Another interesting rhythmic thing. Oh, it has this kind of clockwork vibe to it. Childish brother and sister vibes. Ooh.
Shake hands, that's how you do it. Brotherly love, brotherly hate. Don't it sometimes feel like the same?
It feels so clever, giving it this like toy-like quality, this childish quality when talking about like the connection, brother and sister connection. It's like you get reverted to infants, you know, as brother and sister, you know.
On speaking terms now, you could pick up the phone, you could pull up to his house, you could find that you're alone if you keep fucking around. You say that that's your brother, you'll always come around. Not if you never pick up when you're not done.
Oh. Oh, again, what another clever little nugget of songwriting, like.
Spit into it, shake hands, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Bury the hatchet, get over it, you know. Another just clever songwriting can see, like, I love this idea that like she's singing a song about like trying to get over childish squabbles with her brother. Like the rhythm feeling it's kind of like clockwork kind of thing with the tempo and everything. Very clever. But I love the way that it contrasts the kind of like almost like childish energy with moments of quite like heaviness, you know. It really kind of like pierces through the kind of light kind of quality and makes it kind of like this like kind of gives it this like frustration feeling. Cool. Oh, yeah, it's great. Brotherly love, brotherly hate. Don't it sometimes feel like the same thing? However you bend, however you sway, furious roots just won't give way. I've been laid out on your limbs, carve my name into every one of them. Nick your hands, spit into it, shake hands. That's how you do it. Yeah. So it's like, I guess there's like Siamese twins. Like maybe it's like personal gripes that she has with her brother where she's like, you say one thing and act in another way. I'm constantly furious with you and annoyed at you. But the only way to do it is that kind of kid-like thing, to spit in your hand, shake hands and get over it, you know. Blood oath baby took a vow. Yeah. Unspoken on not on speaking terms now. You could pick up with their phone, you could pull up to his house, you could find out you're alone if you keep fucking around. Yeah, these are the kind of relationships that you have where you have to like kind of get over your pride, get over it, just go there and speak to each other. It's like, you know, we're not speaking to each other, but it's kind of unspoken because we haven't actually spoken about it. And it's like, why aren't we talking? And we don't really know, blah, blah, blah. If you just let that kind of stuff gestate, then you will end up on your own. You know, these relationships aren't like infallible. You know, infallible. Like they're not like gonna be there forever if you don't treat them right. You've got to look after them, and you should look after them. You know, at the end of the day, these are the people that understand you more than anybody else, you know, the people that you grew up with. And so sometimes you just got to get over yourself and just do it. You say that's your brother, you'll always come around, you always have each other. Not if you never pick up where you let down. Ooh, I love one like a brother, I love one like I'm dumb. Let's get shit together, motherfuckers. Sick of missing you. That's how you do. Just get over it. What a great conceit for a song. And something that I find quite relatable, you know, because like our siblings all do shit that's fucking irritating. Do you know what I mean? But you can't change people. And at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to like get over it and be like, yeah, okay, my relationship with you is always going to be a little bit weird. But at the end of the day, I've just got to just accept you for who you are and just make sure I'm there type of thing. You know, me and my sister have had difficult times in the past and we just got to a point where we learnt to understand one another and you accept the other for all of their faults, you know. Yeah. So I really, yeah. And I've never heard anyone put that kind of thing into a song, you know. I really like it. Let's go on to the next one. This is Negative Small Talk. Nice vibe.
Negative self-talk, etc. On and on. Sick of hearing myself talk.
Huh. Yeah, wow.
The long walk between the car and the house.
Gotta love the vibe here.
To your signature sound. Now it's just so quiet.
Subtle little production things. Ugh.
Can hear my heartbeat over emptiness now. Chorus of my now all I hear is
I love this like hazy kind of swirling kind of like quality.
projectiles.
It has this feeling of being lost within your own head, you know.
Tip of my tongue, tip of the iceberg. Turn Titanic around.
Clever little. She's got so many clever little thoughts when it comes to all this like wordplay, you know. The tip of my tongue being the tip of the iceberg, you know. What I have to say, what I keep saying being only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what is truly going on inside of me, which is causing the Titanic to sink, you know. What a vibe, hey. Oh, nice. Ah, gorgeous. Wow. I love this slightly more like major, optimistic kind of plays. Yeah. Ah, beautiful. It's like a sunbeam.
And I won't hear it.
I won't hear it. Yeah, so it's like trying to push back against that negative self-talk, you know, bit of positive manifestation. I quite enjoy how this album is kind of psychology pop, taking that attitude of like self-analysis and kind of, you know, psychological dissecting yourself psychologically and putting it in music, which was kind of, it was very popular for a while, but like this feels like it's a new step forward for that, you know. It kind of is not just like throwing out like buzzwords when it comes to self-help and buzzwords when it comes to mental health, you know. It's about like understanding your loneliness and almost like allowing every single little part of what you're thinking to be put out there, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's fully formed or not. It's about showing everything for what it is, you know. And this album is giving me like somebody stuck within their own head, having all these thoughts going around and around and around, and just putting everything out there as a way of like trying to process it, you know. In its unediting, it gives you a more realistic approach to understanding one's own psychology. And I think that's kind of the vibe that connects everything together. And this one like really kind of puts a bit of a, you know, a fine point on that concept, you know. Negative self-taught, a veteran self-taught, like I've taught myself how to speak badly about myself. Sick of hearing myself talk. Sick of hearing myself talk, but sick of hearing my self-talk, you know. The long walk between the car and the house, I just sit behind the wheel till the battery runs out. Home is where we were loud, used to sing down the hall to your signature sound. Now it's just so quiet. I hate this gorgeous house. I can hear my heartbeat over emptiness now. Wow, so this truly is so lonely. All she can hear is herself. I can hear my heartbeat over emptiness. Oh my God. And like the long walk between the car and the house is just, it's just so poetically put. It's beautiful. Chorus of my worst thoughts, drawing curtains shut as hope takes a bow. Now all I hear is negative self-talk. You can almost picture her in her like house, alone, not speaking to her brother. The relationship's over. She's single on her own, writing these songs in her room and just feeling like she is just sick to death of bouncing around in her house and not having anybody else to stop her from over-obsessing. I write like a volcano, projectile spewing out. Quiet mind's a loaded cannon. Who's it aimed at now? Yeah, wow. So yeah, this is the process of writing the music, is like everything I have to say has nowhere to go, and so I have to put it into the music. And the tip of my tongue, tip of the iceberg, turn Titanic around, let me thaw out. It's like actually like what I have to say through my music might not actually be the best thing to say. You know, maybe I need to turn this ship around because this might be self-destructive, you know. Sung over the bones of you and I. Words spun into daisy wheels in my mind. Nothing more will enter me but light, and I won't hear it. Negative self-talk. Yeah, wow. That's such a beautiful image. Like, oh my God, the poetry there is stunning. Maybe it's like a bit of that positive mental attitude, you know, like I'm not going to just sit and write angry songs. I'm going to choose to like actually try and say something that's going to maybe actively be optimistic. Like there have been moments on this album where it seems like she's pushing against the loneliness and pushing against the melancholy, maybe to try and like help herself and get herself into a more optimistic place, you know. And she kind of like puts it, yeah, there's, you know, she's like, no more negative self-talk, no more like depressing shit. Yeah, so good. Right, next one, this is Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, the title track. What a great name for an album, by the way. She's walking down the stairs with her keys. She's outside in the car. Oh.
I'll be the biggest star at this racist country singers bar.
Oh my God.
This racist country singers bar.
That is so fucking hilarious. I can't.
No use chasing waterfalls. Can only go up from here.
Yeah. I've hit rock bottom and I need to move on. I need to build myself back up. Yeah.
I'll be the biggest star at this Bachelorette party bar. No Bachelorette party bar. No use chasing waterfalls. Can only
Yeah.
go up from here.
Maybe it's like her kind of facing maybe a bit of a mid-career kind of slump in a way, and just saying, actually, you know what? My ego could use a bit of a killing, and maybe I need to do some of these like fucking shit gigs in order to understand, like, ooh.
Got too
Huh.
big for my bread.
Yeah. To understand that, like, I'm no better than anyone else, you know?
I danced, I said my prayers. It never rained. Just
Yeah. Maybe she's like, I expect to be more successful. I expect to be a bigger star than I am, you know? And she's learning to let go of that expectation, you know, the ego death.
I'll be the biggest star at this fucking karaoke bar. No use chasing waterfalls.
Yeah, wow. She's like bringing herself back down to earth, but at the same time, all this imagery of her like shooting for the moon and being a star, you know. Very clever use of words in that opposition between I'm going to be a star, something that's in the sky, something that's high up, something that's cosmic, but it's like at something that's extremely down to earth. And that's the whole point of the song, is she's bringing herself back down to earth. There's no use shooting in the moon. I'm going to come back down to earth. So I love the way that the star, the earth and the moon kind of play into that wordplay. Yeah, what an interesting thing to put into a song, like for someone who it's very well known, but perhaps like her career hasn't gone quite the same direction as, maybe she's comparing herself to Taylor. You know, they've obviously been friends. They kind of came up around the same time, and their careers have like taken them to different places. Maybe there was something in her, this sense of ego, where she was like, I deserve to be as big as Taylor or whatever. But in this moment, she's learning to let go of that, which is a very intriguing concept to put into a song, I think. And what a fucking great title. There's nothing more humbling than an ego death at a bachelorette party, when you're singing for a bachelorette party and you think, wow, I've really made it. But it's good. It's good to be grounded. It's good to come back down to earth. I'll be the biggest star at this racist country singer bar. No use shooting for the moon. No use chasing waterfalls. Can only go up from here. I'll be the biggest star at this bachelorette party bar. Got too big for my britches. Too big for my fishes. The sea got shallower every day. I danced, I said my prayers, it never rained. The sea of opportunity, there's always more. Like, I can always go deeper. I can always be bigger. I can always be more successful. And I think she's realized that, like, maybe she will never get to that level of success, but that's okay. And actually, like, maybe it's good that she's realized that she's not ever going to be able to get that, because it's kind of stopped her just living for the chase, you know? I just want to be in California. Heaven laughs because they all tried to warn us. They sent me right back from where I came, my tail between my legs on Broadway. Yeah, wow. I wonder, like, what it is that happened in her career. You have to fill me in what you think this is about in terms of her career, or whether I've got the wrong end of the stick. Because for me, it almost sounds as if she's maybe attempted to, you know, find success as a solo artist, and maybe it hasn't happened. Yeah, it sounds like the label has maybe said that she's not successful enough and sent her back home. You don't have a job here in California anymore, off you go, you know? Yeah. And maybe that's why we've ended up with an album that's kind of a sprawling, self-produced, self-distributed album, you know? Might all connect there. Let me know what the law is. But yeah, certainly a fascinating song. Cool. Next one. This is Hard.
The way you held my face, I swear.
Nice shifty vibe. This almost sounds like a Billie Eilish song, doesn't it?
The next morning I looked in the mirror, saw a woman I had never met.
Interesting.
Like she forgot nothing is a given.
Nothing is given. Ooh.
So hit me.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Did she just say hit me hard and soft? Okay. I was like, wait a second. I just said this sound like a Billie Eilish song.
I'm too hard. I'm too hard. I got married once in combat boots and kill my feminine just to do it.
Oh, interesting.
I had to go through it.
Yeah, okay. I love that as it move into the chorus. Oh, it's so good. It's so cool that she's like exploring this, the way in which she's moved through the industry. She's had to harden herself up, you know? Kill that feminine part of herself. Only listening to like testosterone, like macho music, like, yeah.
So hit me. I can't get soft. 'Cause I'm too
Oh, I love that idea of like the masculine energy of being like, oh, I'm hard. Like, you know, in terms of like penises as well, you know? Yeah. Really playing with the masculine feminine, like such clever poetry, like.
I'm too hard.
I feel like her poetry, like she's just thinking on a separate level every time she's writing everything. It's so good. Yeah. Oh, so clever. Like it just feels so clever, doesn't it? Like to kind of like understand the nature of the industry and having to mask yourself up, having to let go of the feminine parts of yourself, having to harden yourself to appeal within the rock world, you know, as a rock star, and then writing a whole song that kind of has that kind of innuendo built into it, you know, the kind of innuendo that's related to like macho presenting, peacocking and everything. It's just, there's so many levels and it just is so clever to me. Really, really nice. The way you held my face, I swear I softened for the very first time in my life. It's like she's had something like angry or frustrated built in her from like a young age. Because obviously she's, you know, she was a teenager when she started in the industry as a front woman for a rock band. It's that frustration and anger has like fueled her, and that's supposed to be what fuels you within rock. And she's learning that actually maybe she can unclench, you know, soften up. We kissed quick before you pulled me inside. The next morning I looked in the mirror, saw a woman I'd never met. She looked hopeful, even sort of pitiful, like she forgot nothing is a given. Oh my God, it's just so clever. Like just the way that it's like written, the way you understand this hard exterior that she's had to beat up for herself, and these glimpses that she's found of like softness that have come from like this moment of, you know, romance. She doesn't even recognize herself in the mirror because it's like, I'm just so used to just seeing this hard exterior that I've built for myself. Oh, it's just fucking glorious songwriting. I can't. So hit me. I can't get soft because I'm too hard. My ribs are metal cages to guard my heart. Yeah, wow. So I guess it's not only hardness within the industry as a rock star, but emotionally from the pain of heartbreak in the past. I got married once in combat boots and only listened to testosterone. Yeah, it's like that idea of like wearing combat boots to your own wedding to be like, yeah, I'm cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm masked, you know? I had to kill my feminine just to do it, to get to you. I had to go through it. Yeah, wow. I'm always ready for the piano to fall, always ready to be left out in the cold. Armor's heavy never suited me at all, but it's the devil I know. Wow. The devil I know. Like, I know this suit of armor that I have around myself. I know that doesn't suit me. I know it's so heavy. I know I'm preparing myself for the worst when maybe I should be trying to be optimistic and trying to embrace the good things in my life. But it's all I've ever known, you know? It's just like, oh, the poetry in it is so fab. And the song sounds great too. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's brilliant. Right, next one. This is Discovery Channel. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. Probably not a reference to that.
Barbaric bliss, teeth gnash when we kiss.
Ooh, it's like animalistic sexual thing.
You start to cry.
Wow.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing.
Yes. I was right. We're both mid-30s, like the references are the same. Oh, that's so funny. I can't believe she actually fucking sampled that song. That's so funny.
Gonna sit down, the hurt is hidden. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it.
Maybe she's like taking that. So it's so funny that she's taking this like comedy song and like maybe undoing the psychology of that, you know? It's so cool.
Can't heal, you keep ripping me open. I can't heal, you keep ripping me open.
Yeah. Ripping me open emotionally, physically.
I can't feel you and me, baby, ain't nothing.
It's kind of like a little bit like threatening sounding, actually. Do you know what I mean? Like whispering into the microphone, like that kind of seething sense of like aggression, you know? It's very, very cool because it completely recontextualizes the original song, which is just like meant to be a dumb, fun, flirty song, you know?
They do on the Discovery Channel.
So funny. Like, that is such a brilliant interpolation. Like, very clever. But taking that and making it intimate and like quiet is so interesting. Barbaric bliss, teeth gnash when we kiss, no wound to lick because the hurt is hidden. Yeah, like the animalistic metaphor, the way that like actually we might have this like aggressive sex, but like the reason for why we're having this aggressive sex is like this hidden wound within ourselves, you know, this like psychological thing. Don't you miss when I used to smile, blood on my lips, you start to cry, barbaric bliss, the hurt is hidden. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but money, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. 20-something years ago, we started playing a little game, and now we're all going to sit down and we're going to finish it. Maybe this is a bit of an on and off again thing that she's had like her whole life since she was 17, presumably. I can't heal, you keep ripping me open. Yeah, maybe it's like if I keep returning to this hookup, keep returning to this like on and off again thing, I'm never truly going to be able to heal. And it's like understanding like the reason why we have this like kind of toxic connection is related to kind of internal traumas that we're not actually dealing with, you know? It's actually so clever. And actually, if they have been doing that for 20 years since they were teenagers, this song would have been like the song that was on the radio at that time. So maybe that's like almost like a time traveling kind of like element to this, where it's like the song that is on the radio when this started explains the way in which we, you know, have sex. But there's a deeper level that is so funny to me that she would take something so like a silly song like that and think of like what's the psychological subcontext of people having that kind of sex, you know. It's so clever. Check my little cup. I got it in Japan. Isn't it so cute? Okay. And then it has a little tail on the back. So cute. I've got so much cute shit in Japan. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. Right, okay. Next song. This is True Believer. I love that slightly like chromatic piano.
Tourists stumble down Broadway, Cumberland keeps claiming bodies. All our best memories were bought and then turned into apartments. The club with all the hardcore shows. The churches overflow each Sunday, greedy Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's got very anti-establishment, isn't it, this song? Love it. Man, etc. Nice. It's such a dark edge, this song, you know? That piano, it sounds like maybe like Halloween or something, like this, like that soundtrack. I think it's Halloween. Definitely connecting to a certain sense of horror. Yeah. I think they used Piccadilly Third there as well. It kind of has that kind of melodramatic, gothic, kind of Christian sounding lift, you know?
They pose in Christmas cards with guns as big as all the children.
Yeah.
This is the way, but they gave him a white face, so they don't have to pray to someone they deem lesser than them.
If the God.
South will not rise again.
Yeah, wow.
Till it's paid for every sin. Strange fruit, hard bargain.
Oh my God, the reference to Strange Fruit.
Till the roots, Southern Gotham.
Me. Oh God, I got chilled on my body. This song is just like crazy. Like, it's like her kind of like trying to deal with the fact that she's from the south of America and understanding like what has happened there, you know?
'Cause I'm a true believer. I'm still alive, my belief.
Wow. It's like some sense of faith that she can bring, or she can deal with racism and shit, you know, within Christianity. Just so clever there, using the Piccadilly Third classic Christian resolution within this song. Very clever. That is a genuinely super, super clever song. It's just like, I tell you what, a detail that I just thought was just so clever about that was like the referencing, right? You kind of have this reference to like horror, you know, the kind of classic Halloween soundtrack kind of thing with that light plonky piano, slightly discordant, but like harmonically using that resolution. So the Piccadilly Third resolution is something that's like has been like historically used in like classical Christian hymns and stuff in order to evoke like a sense of like spirituality, you know, because it'd be set within C minor and the whole song will be in C minor or whatever. And you'll set the resolution as if you're going to go back into C minor, the chord, but you'll go into C major instead. And it kind of creates this like lightness. And that in Christian music is often used to kind of like symbolize the spirituality and worship. But within this slightly more horror context, it kind of becomes something slightly more twisted and dark whilst also still referencing kind of classic Christianity. So it's like just... It's those little details that just absolutely just get my goat. I love it. It's just brilliant. Tourists stumble down Broadway. Cumberland keeps claiming bodies. All our best memories were bought and then turned into apartments. Wow. The club with all the hardcore shows, now just a grayscale dominoes. The churches overflow each Sunday, greedy Sunday morning. Yeah, so it's looking back at your hometown, seeing the way that all the bars and all the like the rock bars and the, you know, the kind of cool kind of millennial era local shit has all been like torn down. All of those memories have been, have been deleted, and they've just turned it into apartments because it's all just about making profit. They can make more money off of apartments than they can off of having, a grungy bar. And the same, from another chain of a fucking Domino's. Like, it's like this like post-apocalyptic kind of like capitalist thing where it's like, it feels like the whole world is going to be enslaved to like Domino's and McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? It's really kind of got that quality to it. And then she connects it into Christianity as well, with a gift shop in the lobby of a church. My God. Act like God ain't watching. Kill the soul, turn a profit, what lives on Southern Gotham. I'm the one who still loves your ghost. I reanimate your bones with my belief. I'm the one who still loves your ghost. I reanimate your bones because I'm a true believer. I guess there's a sense of like her still having a sense of spirituality that exists outside of like the establishment. The church has like sold its soul and will sell your soul if they can make a bit of money out of you. And she's like, at least I still have faith in what I was supposed to be believing in the first place. They put up chain link fences underneath the biggest bridges, anti-homeless. Oh no, wait, no, that's to do with immigration, isn't it? Fuck me. They pose in Christmas cards with guns as big as all their children. Fucking disgusting. Considering the context of modern American history, fucking disgusting. Will always be fucking disgusting. They say that Jesus is the way, but then they give him a white face so they don't have to pray to someone they deem lesser than them. Like this, it is so deluded, isn't it? Like this era of Christianity that seems to have just risen out of the fucking depths of hell. You think that like shit like the KKK is like in the past, is like a remnant of like American history that has been laid to bed, but then you get somebody like Trump in the presidency and all these people start showing their face again, and all these people start getting scared and so fall back into line, and all these people with the guns and the racism and the horrendous shit end up coming to the surface and taking power. It's really horrific to kind of see it happening, and it must be even more horrific to be from a kind of more like traditionally like Republican known South of America kind of background like HAYLEY, and to see it happening around you with your hometown, with families of people that you grew up with. Do you know what I mean? It's like, must be horrible. Like, the South will not rise again till it's paid for every saying. Strange, oh my God, I got chills all over my fucking body. Strange fruit, hard bargain. So the Strange Fruit being like the song, I mentioned the KKK. It's like a song from that era about like people being hung off a tree, and so her like evoking that song is extremely powerful. This is the history. This is the history that we still have to atone for. Like, look at the sins of your past. You don't deserve to be stood claiming anything. Oh, it's disgusting, isn't it? The only reason that the South is as white and right-leaning as it is because of the shit that went on during that time, the racism, the segregation, the lynching. And it's like these people have completely forgotten history, and this is the true scary thing. I remember when I was studying history at college, and they were like, the reason we learn about history is so that we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. And suddenly you have a fascist nation. It's not come out of nowhere. It's been kind of building steam for a long time. This like American fascism, where it's like all the education is being rewritten. American history as taught in American history books has always been very America leaning. It's America won World War II. It's very much like a specific view on history that conveniently leaves out all of the other horrendous shit, And so already you've got a nation of people who haven't been truly educated on balanced global history. And it's just been taken a step further in modern years with like the erasing of like LGBT education in Florida. Like, it's literally Nazi shit. And it's very clear that, and this song kind of really brings this into clarity for me, the way in which there's a whole like group of people in America who do not understand history, or maybe they do but are so desensitized to the reality of it that they can start making those mistakes again. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if they truly understood the gravitas of what can happen in their past, then maybe they would not make those mistakes again. But clearly they don't, and it's history is repeating itself, and it's very, very scary to see. I think the thing that really makes that song super powerful is HAYLEY's like background. because like it's very easy to just kind of cast off like a whole section of people. But when you're somebody who kind of is from that area, having to then deal with that split, I don't know, it's very insightful to kind of like see the situation through her eyes, you know. What song? Anyway, right, next one. Oh, this is Zissu. I don't know what this means, but let's go. I like the vibes. Oh, that's reminding me of like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I keep telling you the water's fine.
nice melody.
In a scuba suit. We could be like Team Zissu.
I don't know what Zissu is.
I don't mind wasting my time.
Oh, that's cute.
You're always mine.
Ah, gorgeous. I love the kind of swimmy vibes of this, shimmery in the sea. It's nice.
Keep telling you the water's fine.
Oh, this is lush. I love this.
But the monsters are you and I don't mind wasting my time. You're
This is such a nice vibe.
always mine.
I love that slide. It kind of does give it that kind of holiday vibe, you know.
You're always mine.
Ooh, nice. Oh, what a nice place to take it. This is so cool. Ah, wow. Love that kind of the harmonies and stuff.
I don't
Oh, what a cool middle eight. Really, really cool.
You're always mine. Always mine.
Ugh, gorge. What a nice vibe. Really, really interesting kind of sound design. Really, I love the kind of like beachy vibes of it, but without it becoming too like, it doesn't feel like it's like a Caribbean knockoff or anything, but it still kind of has like an element of that beachy, swimmy, kind of summery kind of quality. A really nice juxtaposition, especially considering where we've just come from. Yeah, really gorgeous, really nice. And that middle eight, like harmonically, so cool. I loved all the layered harmonies and everything. Just great. Keep telling you the water's fine. You show up in a scuba suit. It's so cute. This idea that like, yeah, the water's fine. You trust me enough to like come in your scuba suit. You're ready to like dive right in, you know? So come out to the deeper side. We could be like Team Zissu. What is Team Zissu? The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissu. Someone recreating it in Animal Crossing. It's a film. Oh, it's a Wes Anderson film. Never heard of that, but very cool. I don't mind wasting my time. In my mind, you're always mine. I keep telling you the water's fine. Megan called it monster soup, but the monsters are you and I. I don't know who Megan is. Maybe it's a niece or nephew. We don't have anything to lose. I don't mind wasting my time. I guess it's like the idea that like wasting time isn't time wasted when it's with somebody you love, you know? That's the vibe I'm getting. Really gorgeous. Vem kamedas. What is that? I don't want AI to tell me what this song's about, thank you. Excerpt from the lyrics of Life on Mars by Brazilian artist Sue George. So it's, oh, and it's in, okay, so it's in the soundtrack of the film. Okay, so it's a literal reference to the song. Come here, give me your tongue. Interesting, Portuguese. Yeah, like come here, give me your tongue. It's like, you know, let me bend your ear maybe. Maybe we can like chat, be with me, exist with me. The water's fine. Let's just swim around and waste our time together. Really nice vibes there. And I love that like there's a suggestion that there's like emotional depth beneath the water, you know? I'm allowing you to come into my emotional depths. It's okay. We can get to know each other at that level, you know? It's all chill, you know? Very nice. I love the fact that everything has levels to it. And I love that she's obviously just watched this film and made like a very overt reference to it, which I think is just really, it's kind of cute. And it kind of goes to show the kind of eccentricities of this album where she's kind of, everything's unedited. And I really appreciate it for those little quirks, you know? Right. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is Dream Girl and Shibuya, which was requested on Patreon as well. So it's another one I know. And I've listened to a few times. And I went to Shibuya and was sad when I left. again. But yeah, let's give it a listen. I was on holiday in Japan in November. I used to live there, so it's very nice. So I can relate to this song. I am that dream girl. I love that like cozy drum. It's nice.
Every now and then in a far off land, a liminal feeling.
I love this kind of idea of fantasy that she conjures in this. Yeah. Oh, that's such a nice melody.
Should've stayed a mystery, sipping on Japanese whiskey.
I love that romantic melody, but like auto-tuned to make it sound like a kawaii, like Hatsune Miku or something.
You want me more. I wait for you.
I literally love that sweeping up. Ooh, it's so nice.
Just my silhouette pressed against this view.
It's just such a vibe, isn't it? You know, internet girly vibes.
You've already seen every bad side of me, but I went to Takashita Street, came back more.
Takeshita. Funny.
I wait for you. 7 to 3 in a hotel.
This fucking chorus is just stunning to me. The sweeping melody, like the ooh, the focus on the ooh, it just kind of gives it this like, oh, this incredibly dreamy quality, you know?
I'm always waiting for you. Knock on my door, baby. Hold me close. Could always just stay.
I love that.
I wait for
I love the way she retains that tension right up until the chorus comes back in. It's so good.
dream will come true. In Shibuya.
It's kind of like almost like living in fantasy, isn't it? Like, because like you don't have anything dreamy to live for right now, you know? That's just beautiful, beautifully nostalgic, so stunningly rendered. The melody is just brilliantly made in telling that story in itself, you know, just such a vibe. I just really, just so good. It's just so good. Like, and the way that she purposely is like slightly out of tune before she sweeps up into the correct note, you know, that she's hitting is just, I don't know, it just adds like a little bit of edge to it that just, it's just gorgeous. I love it. Every now and then in a far off land, familiar but foreign, a liminal feeling. See, that liminal space is the whole song exists within that, you know? I know you know me now like the back of your hand, but can I still get your heart reeling? Should have stayed a mystery, sipping on Japanese whiskey in the lobby bar. I could say I gotta leave, but let's not let that come between us. Would it make you want me more? I wait for you in 7230 in a hotel room. I can still be your dream come true. There's like a sense of like almost like an old, like a relationship that's kind of quite like they know each other very, very, very well. And yet she's like, I can still be that fantasy. We can still kind of have that fantasy. Let's still live within that fantasy, you know? Just my silhouette pressed against this view. I wonder, do you miss when having me felt like brand new? I love this kind of like this different conversation that's kind of happening in the brackets where it's like, get to the 7th floor, get to my door, elevator ride, slowest of your life. Can you feel how your heart's beating? Super nostalgic, super dreamy, really drenched in that, you know, and yet there's a kind of melancholy to it because it's like, it isn't like it once was, you know, we can't quite capture how it felt to be in the middle of Japan, this country that we didn't know at the time, you know. To me, like I know obviously like the chronology of her relationship and where she's in if she's in a relationship, is she not? I don't know. But it sounds to me that it's two lovers that have been in love for a long time who had like a moment when they were younger in Japan where they had this like super exciting kind of like hookup thing in this hotel in the middle of Shibuya, and looking back at that moment, even though now they know each other so well, kind of remembering it, trying to maybe live within that fantasy for a little bit longer, live within a nostalgia for a little bit longer, you know? I hate that you've already seen every bad side of me under fluorescent light. See, that's the idea of that, like, when they first met, like, you wouldn't have seen all these sides to me, and now you know even the darker sides to me. If it remained that one night, I would have been forever perfect in your brain, you know? You never would have understood, like, those complexities, you know? But I went to Takeshita Street, Takeshita Dori, came back more kawaii. We could pretend it's our first time. Can always come here. Could always just stay. Dream girl come true in Shibuya. Yeah, it's almost like, yeah, trying to recapture that nostalgia. But I do wonder whether you ever can, you know? Beautiful. Love it. Oh, it's just so elegantly put together, that song. Love it. Right, next one. This is Blood Bros. Blood Bros. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, what a good chord.
Whatever you do, whatever you say,
Beautiful.
filled up to the ground.
Oh, gorgeous.
Till we're just two fish.
I don't think I've ever quite heard a chord structure quite like this.
Covered in sand. Whatever I did. Whatever I said. Would you rush to the bar?
I love the amount of tension that this song builds through its chord progression, you know. So when it comes back to the beginning, and then it just like keeps the momentum going. It's nice.
Now we're just blood brothers, covered in paper cuts.
Yeah.
With a bond like no other.
Yeah.
Whenever you want.
Oh,
Whenever you
gorgeous. I love how the guitar is played. It's so soft and gorgeous.
If anything helps you.
Oh, this is giving me chills. I love this. It's just captured my imagination, this song. It's just so gorgeous.
Love you forever.
Yeah.
If that won't make it worse.
Is that it? Oh, what a beautiful little song. So intriguing to me. Like, kind of doesn't really have like a typical structure, but still maintains its momentum through its interesting chord structure and through the kind of like propulsive kind of like 3, 4, 6, 8, whatever it is, rhythm of it, you know? The two chords that kind of came right before it went back into the beginning of the chord loop was just so strange and didn't resolve themselves immediately. And I just loved the sense of tension and the sense of kind of mystery and the sense of like, oh, okay, you know, what is that? You know, the kind of that created every single time it came around. It was just like, oh, you know, what's happening? I don't quite know how to feel, you know. But I love that tension kind of like ends up propelling you back into the loop, you know, and then you end up going back around again. It's just really, really nicely put together. Whatever you do, whatever you say, by now you should know I'll love you the same. Whatever I did, whatever I said, would you come back to get me if you had the chance again? Would you rush to the bottom of my black tar heart? Now we're just blood brothers, covered in paper cuts with a bond like no other. Was it ever enough? Whenever you want, whenever you need, I can move in closer or I can leave. If anything helps you or if anything hurts, I will love you forever if that won't make it worse. I'll love you forever if that won't make it worse. Because I would do anything, you know? That's so gorgeous. I love that. What a fabulous little poetic detail. Like, I love you forever if that won't make it worse. You know, like, if the act of me loving you forever were bad for you, I would not do it. you know, it's such a beautiful little kind of like contradiction, a stunning little contradiction, you know. Really, what a stunning little song. Like, I love this idea of like devotion to somebody. It could be family or it's probably a family, right? Maybe it is literally her brother, like accepting one another for all of their kind of like faults, you know, like allowing each other in, you know. But I love the way that she meets this other person where they're at, you know. She's like, if you want me to move closer, if you want me to move further away, I will do anything because my only intention with you is to make you feel safe, you know. And I love that level of connection that she's talking about there. It's beautiful. Oh God, that was so stunning. I loved that. Woof. Right, next one. This is I Won't Quit on You.
Stranded here on Mars. What's the odds you'd get stuck here too? Who'd have thought there'd be so much left to lose?
I love that guitar.
Come hell or heaven, angels or devils, I won't move.
Oh, that's lush.
I won't quit on you.
Yeah.
Lonely astronaut, it's gonna cost, but you just can't beat that view.
I love this extended metaphor that she's building in. I love how she's playing, the bass is very sparse in this song and it kind of leaves like big moments of kind of openness, you know,
Come
which is very much like being in space. I want that sound. Kind of, I don't know, reminds me of like space movies maybe. Yeah, it has a space-like quality, the whole sound of this song. There's a floatiness to it as well, you know. Gorgeous.
Inner space. Turns
Wow.
out home is not a place. When I think home, I see your face. Up there so long, everything changed. Come.
Wow. Oh my God, what a song. This is so gorgeous. Like, just the poetry in this. Like, looking down on, like, everybody in the earth, gaining some level of perspective, understanding your relationship with home from being far away. I can be anywhere is home as long as I'm with you, even if I'm on fucking Mars. Isn't that
Turns out nowhere is a place.
just so good? I love it. Oh.
Home, baby, everything changed.
Oh, love it. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, what a song. Her poetry in this album is just so fab. I just love this kind of like really internal writing, interesting little thoughts in a notebook type style of songwriting that this is, because obviously she's like shared like so much music, but it feels like it's like straight out the pages of a diary. Like I've come up with all these like really interesting little poetic, little metaphorical little things. And I've come up with all this stuff that's been going round and round and round and round in my head. And here's it to you. I'm presenting it to you. And I just love that approach to the songwriting because it's kind of brought out so many kind of brilliant little things that are just to do with poetry and wordplay, you know? And it's something that is kind of lost in a lot of modern music, like this idea of true, like actual poetry, you know? People often think in terms of like hooks and think in terms of like catchiness, which is great, obviously. I love hooks and catchiness, right? But like what gets left by the wayside is this traditional style of poetry, like the way that we look at metaphors and the way that like, you know, speaking through rhyme and speaking through rhythm and speaking through metaphor kind of gives you a more three-dimensional understanding of what it is the artist is trying to express, you know? And that's so much of this album has like so much of that three-dimensional poetry to it. It's just stunning. I love it. Stranded here on Mars, what are the odds? You get stuck here too. Might be a lost cause. Who'd have thought there'd be so much left to lose? Oh, wow. Maybe this is like a bit of a metaphor for her not feeling at home. Like we talked about True Believer, we talked about her connection to the South, the way that she maybe doesn't feel like her home is home anymore. And so there's an idea of her being cast out. And maybe that's the metaphor of being on Mars. It's like she's been cast out to Mars. And yet there's somebody there who relates to her story, you know? Come hell or heaven, angels or devils, I won't move. And I don't care what happens after, I won't quit on you. Lonely astronaut, it's going to cost, but you just can't beat that view. So there's maybe a reflection on the way that she has kind of like risen above her kind of humble beginnings to kind of like achieve something greater, to see more of the world, to have greater level of perspective on a different planet, perspective of the earth, blah, blah, blah. You know, like her choices in life have led her to this place where she has this extra level of perspective. And I think she is looking back at her hometown and actually thinking, although I lost something in that transition, I'm so glad for it because look at the view, look at this perspective that I've gained, look at what I have gained, you know. I wouldn't want to live in ignorance like the Christians with the guns. Yeah, it's really powerful. Wasted like a god, power off and wake up somewhere new. Now I'm an alien to you. Come heaven or hell, angels or devils, I won't move. Yeah, that specific Christian reference in the lyrics there is actually quite pertinent as well. Chaos-ridden inner space. Turns out home is not a place. When I think of home, I think of a place. When I think of home, I see your face. Up there so long, everything's changed. Look down on a brilliant blaze. Phone home, baby, everything changed. Oh, E.T. reference. Yeah, it's like while she's been away, like it feels as if like the country has like turned in on itself, particularly her relationship with the South, as we've said. And it's almost like she's just let go of the idea of that even being her home. She's like, actually, maybe home is just where I'm with the people that I love and I care about. And that is enough for me. And I might have lost something, but I've gained so much, you know? So good. I just really, really love that. God, this album is brilliant. It really is brilliant. Right, let's go to the next one. This is Parachute, which I think it's like the top played one. So maybe it's kind of, there's a video as well. So maybe there's like single. Do singles exist anymore with data dump albums? You know. Anyway, let's go. Well, hello. Not what I was expecting. Shit.
Yes, I saw her spiraled hair. And
oh, gorgeous. That piano's wonderful.
My spider senses.
I love that synth as well.
Rains wash away the life I'm weaving.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna catch me.
Wow.
I never stopped falling for you.
Oh my God, amazing.
Leave home without a parachute.
Wow. Oh my God. Oh, this is giving me chills all over my body. Like, to get to this point and have to have a song like this, I don't know, it just fits us so well. Oh. Wow. Oh, the distance in that, the reverb.
You said that you
oh, this is so good.
I was broken, you were drunk. You could
Oh.
have told me not to do it. I would've run. Tell me what was the
She's finally raising her voice at this point of this album.
I would've done anything.
Yes. Ugh. Yeah, now I know better than to not have caution, you know? Yeah. Oh, I love the kind of rock element that's in this. Watching falling in love, physically falling, parachutes. Oh.
Watch me fly.
I love that, you know, that kind of idea in the melodic rhythm. Ha, amazing. Oh, I love those moments of like kind of distortion and like the intensity of that and the way that kind of cuts through the kind of more beautiful aspects of the song, just adding an extra level of like real nice contradiction in that, especially when you get to like the bridge where it's like kind of really goes rocky, you know. It's just really satisfying. Oh God, really just nicely put together, and just feels like so satisfying to have a moment now in the album where it's all been very swirly, dreamy, introspective, quiet, you know, to have a song where she kind of lets it out and you can hear the emotion and the rawness in her voice. We've had a lot of disassociation, we've had a lot of melancholy, but here it's like slightly sharper, angrier kind of feeling that actually kind of comes out here, and it feels so satisfying to get to this place, you know. Yes, I saw her spiraled hair and I could see it, our life in a movie, and now I'm spinning my web up in the air. Oh, okay, so she's spinning the web in the air, like trying to make the parachute as she's falling, right? My spider senses rain's gonna fall, wash away the life I'm weaving. So there's a fear that everything that she's built is gonna like get washed away. I thought you were gonna catch me. I never stopped falling for you. So good. Oh my God. Now I know better. Never let me leave home without a parachute. Yeah. So it's like she knows better than to put her trust in somebody who's not gonna catch her, you know. And you were at my wedding. I was broken. You were drunk. You could have told me not to do it. I would have run. You could have told me what you wanted. I would have done anything. I would have done anything. Yeah, wow. It really feels like she's putting together the pieces of how their relationship broke down. Maybe the beginnings of their relationship kind of came out of something a little bit like, a little bit toxic, right? And now she's learnt better. She's learnt better than to just kind of just follow those feelings and just fall without any sense of caution, because that's the thing, that's the metaphor, isn't it? That she's thrown herself out the window of a plane in pursuit of some other version of love, and she hasn't had a parachute. She didn't give herself any kind of safety net emotionally, and so she ended up crashing into the ground, right? And I feel like that's what we've kind of been dealing with in this whole album, that loneliness, like that she's experienced in like after this. Yeah, but this is like the moment where she's kind of piecing together, okay, what is it that I have learned from this? And that's to not leave home without a parachute. I will always be more cautious when it comes to love, and maybe appreciating what I have rather than just jumping after something, Yeah, it's a very powerful metaphor. It's really, really well done. And I love the image of maybe her leaving the house with a parachute on her back, There's something about that. Watch me fall through the sky, watch me fly. Now I've learned from my past experiences, I have optimism. I have faith that I will be able to fly, that I'll be able to succeed because I've learned from the mistakes of my past, That seems to be like what that metaphor is all about. Just, oh God, her poetry in this album is just so good. Like, I love it. I love it. It's like everything kind of has so many layers to it, and every song feels so succinct in that way. Like everything in this song is linking back to this idea of falling. It's just so clever and so well thought out, considering the style of release and everything, and the amount of songs feels very data dumpy. Individually, the lyrics feel so incredibly well put together and thought out, Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Right, okay, let's go on to the next one. This is Good Old Days. Already has a bit of a throwback quality to it, doesn't it? The sampling, yeah.
Desire, tidal wave, I can't tame it.
Nice.
Can't change it.
Nice melody.
When you're not about, am I allowed? When I was
cool, love it.
Thinking, baby.
I love the kind of intonation in the rhythm. It's so good.
Could sneak around like we're on tour. Even if that's all you want me for. You could call me Miss Paramore, cause
yeah. Hard times, Paramore references. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I'm almost done. Not easy letting go of the one. I'm not sleepy, I won't hex you. I just wanna love you, but you won't let me. Cause I miss you like I miss the way who knew my baby.
I love the kind of like, it kind of feels like a kind of classic songwriting thing, It kind of feels a little bit like 70s-ish, the skippiness of it, It's nice.
So tacky. I think that's why I love you so much. I just had to call you first on my new phone. I love you. Y'all have a blast. Bye.
What's in a name? What's in a name? What's in a name? Fate's got a funny way, baby. 'Cause I miss you like I miss the.
Interesting. What's in a name? Yeah. It's just just very nicely written melodies, Love it. Oh, so good. Love. Really great. Oh. Who knew the hard times with the good old days? It's just like, I don't know. Like, isn't it just like really nicely written? I just feel that about like the whole album, Considering it's like 20 songs and the whole data dump vibe, the actual hit rate is like remarkable, to be honest. Like the fact that like everything is well thought out and the songs feel good and they feel sticky and they feel hooky and they feel nicely written and they feel succinct. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really remarkable, I think. I love the idea of her doing a song that's like reminiscent, nostalgic. It's called Good Old Days, and she has like specific little references to the band and to songs that they sang when they were, you know, a bit younger. Do you know what I mean? It's another clever little thing that adds an extra level of dimension to the songwriting. Desire, tidal wave, I can't tame it. I'm not a waterbender, can't change it. Maybe I need a surfboard. Surfboard? That just seems like a Beyonce reference to me. Gotta write it out, get it all out. When you're not mine, am I allowed? When I was a secret, you kept me. Skinny divorcee, do you regret me? I'm thinking maybe we should go back, stay friends, keep all the benefits. We could sneak around like we're on tour, even if that's all you want me for. You could call me Miss Paramore. It's almost like reliving those old days. Yes, we've gotten divorced and like, you know, it's not going to be what it once was, but could we hook up and relive those good old days? Could we live within that little nostalgic bubble for a little while? Because I miss you like I miss the rage. Oh, see, that's interesting, hey? Like I miss real ink on a page. Well, that's a very kind of millennial pain to have, isn't it? Missing ink on the page. Who knew the hard times were the good old days? Because I miss you, miss kissing your face, blissing out to the music we made. So who did she marry? Was it someone in the band or was it like a producer or somebody? I don't know the gossip. But she's like, actually, like, I miss all of that. I've made so many mistakes. And at the time, maybe we thought it was really hard, but who knew that those would become the good old days, you know? I love it. Have to get it out of my system. Don't like songs about you. Don't listen. And if I'm being honest, I'm almost done. Not easy letting go of the one. Wow. I'm not Stevie. I won't hex you. Stevie Nicks, presumably. I just want to love you, but you won't let me. Oh, wow. And she's like, I'm sorry I'm writing this song. You know, I'll be done with it in a minute, but I need to get these feelings out, you know, because there are moments where I wish that it could be like the good old days, even though I know it can't be, you know. Secret love, what's in a name? What's in a name? I wonder what that's about. Fate's got a funny way. Fate's got a funny way, funny way. I think she knows on some level that like she isn't that person anymore. Like I miss the rage. It's like she knows that the rage is bad for her, and yet still on some level she kind of misses feeling that level of feeling, you know? And so that kind of is kind of synonymous with their relationship. It's like, although it's not good for me, although I broke up with you for a reason, I still miss that feeling, you know. It is contradictory in itself, but these are true things that we feel as humans in the moment. Sometimes it's like just about capturing exactly what that feeling in the moment is, you know. And she does it so well. She captures all those contradictions and manages to tie it into the songwriting. Right, okay, before I go on to the last song, this is a shout out to my patrons. Woo. Without whom I probably wouldn't actually be listening to this album because they kept telling me that I had to listen to it. But yes, thank you everybody who supports me over on Patreon. You make it able for me to do what I'm doing. Over the last few years, doing YouTube has been like, it's always like a bit of a rocky road, right? When you kind of set out to kind of have like a self-employed career. And I've been doing a lot of like looking back, and the thing that's made it possible has been Patreon. YouTube continues to be an absolute bastard when it comes to monetization. The copyright algorithm is getting worse and worse and worse. I am now finding so many of my videos just absolutely do not earn any money on YouTube anymore. And also the money that I am earning from ad revenue on YouTube has become smaller and smaller, even on videos that stay monetized. They're squeezing it out of us creators as corporations do. But the light in the darkness is Patreon, and that's the reason I'm still here doing what I'm doing, is because you guys on Patreon have decided to support me directly, and I can never thank you enough for that, because that really, it really is. Without it, I wouldn't still be doing this at all. So thank you. But yeah, if you want to join in on Patreon, there's a lovely community over on there of lovely like-minded music lovers. You can get involved on the free tier where you can keep up to date with everything that's going on, or you can go up into the paid tiers where you get all the extra bonus content that wouldn't really do very well in the YouTube algorithm. So I'm talking like kind of discussion videos, I'm talking like looking back at old albums, I'm talking reacting to new music, like short videos, that kind of stuff. And then in the next tier up, you then get uncut album reactions. Because I'm free of the YouTube algorithm, I can actually, under the fair use law, show like the full length of the music, and you get all my unedited discussions and thoughts and everything as well. And then there are bonus album reactions that go out every month. And then the upper tiers, you can actually request what reactions I do, and all of those go onto the Patreon as well. So there's like a swath of bonus content every single month. Yeah, and on top of that, it's a lovely community, and you get to support me directly. If you want to get involved, as little as £3 a month, or over on the free tier, then head over to Patreon. The link's in the description. Thank you again to everybody who supports me. Right, okay, let's go on to the final song. This is Showbiz, baby. Let's go. shimmery, synthy. Okay. I wonder whether this whole good old days connection to Paramore thing has made her make a song that sounds like a Paramore song. You know?
I wanna do it again. I wanna dance in the strobe light.
Love that drum, so tight.
Into my skin, dig down deep, but tell me what's so big.
Oh, nice. Oh. Love that. Harmonically, there, so good.
You wanna do it again. You wanna dance in the strobe light.
Maybe it's her dealing with like the reality of her career at this point, you know? Yeah. I love that, like letting everything disappear right before the chorus. It's so satisfying.
Guess that show may never happen again. Stings like sweat on broken skin. And it's never enough.
Stings like sweat on broken skin.
Lotion.
Wow. Huh.
It's showbiz.
Nice. Fake out. So good. Nice. A really nice vibe to end the album on. It kind of feels like a kind of summing up something, you know? It kind of like has like a slightly more euphoric quality, a slightly more pop rock quality that kind of reminds me of Paramore music, you know, in general, like the band's music. And there also seems to be some sort of like letting go. I guess that's just showbiz. I guess that's just, you know, I have to kind of deal with it, like let go, you know. So it feels like a really nice place to end it. And again, considering like this was kind of a data dump of an album, in the formation of it actually becoming an album, she has really thought about like the way it's been put together. She hasn't just kind of just copy and pasted it onto Spotify, you know. Throughout every single song you can hear the attention to detail, but I'm glad that the whole album still has that attention to detail as well. Niels, I want to do it again. I want to dance in the strobe light. I want to choke on the smoke and feel your eyes on me. Again, more with this kind of nostalgia, searing into my skin, dig down deep. But tell me, what do you see underneath? The showbiz? In the fog, in the flood beams, on a lark, in their midst, our silhouettes kiss. Guess that's showbiz. Guess that's curtains. I guess it's like looking back at their relationship and kind of like maybe saying like, it's all over, folks. Guess that's showbiz. You know, it's kind of got that kind of quality to it. Was it just showbiz? Or was there something more, you know? May never happen again. Stings like sweat on broken skin. Wow. I love like the kind of metaphor that's going on, this dancing, this performing, that's kind of going on throughout all the little bits that look like the sweat. Showbiz in the fog and the flood beams on a lark in their mist, our silhouettes kiss. Yeah. I guess there's a sense of like the showbiz, it all being a facade, it all kind of being for show, it all being performative, you know. It's like she wants to believe that their relationship was deeper than that, but she's questioning whether it actually was, I guess. But as with all shows, they end and you move on. And I feel like that is kind of what this song is supposed to bring, is that sense of like finality, you know. You'll have to let me know like what actually happened. Because like I don't know any context of like her relationship or anything like that. But yeah, overall, like I'm like, the thing is, I'm so impressed by this album. I think the thing is that like if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll be aware that I'm quite critical of albums that are too long, that feel like data dumps. You should have seen my reaction to Torture Poets, and my thoughts that still on Taylor Swift's Torture Poets Society, the 31 track double album, is that like editing was required. I love albums that are edited and concise and have a specific vision, right? And so I think like in the back of my head, I was a little bit like maybe thinking that this album would be that, but like it actually is just so much more than that. And I think the way in which it is written, the kind of train of thought, no editing, actually adds to the storytelling in a way that I think that Taylor Swift was trying to do with Tortured Poets, but didn't quite succeed on the level that she hoped she would. Different conversation. But like, so much about this album is effective because of that style of songwriting and that style of release. You know, if it were to be an album that was overly edited, it would lose a sense of that rawness. It would lose a sense of that intimacy. And so actually, yeah, this album ended up being a success because of their Data Dump style rather than the other way around, which is really, really impressive to me. And also impressive that like you can write a 20-song album and really have so many songs that are just so good, like really satisfying to listen to, well put together, have their own sense of identity, have really clever poetic ideas that tie all the lyrics together, that give every single song multiple layers to kind of dig through, that all actually link together as well with this kind of sense of melancholy, this sense of loneliness, this sense of coming out of a long-term relationship and disassociating, being lost within your head. It all kind of adds up, you know, to a project that makes so much sense, but also it works on a kind of baseline. These songs are good level, you know? Yeah. And I think for me, the shining star of this album is the poetry. Oh God, the one with like the astronaut, the true believer, you know, the linking back to home, like even like the clever poetry and metaphors of hard being hard, you know, and being macho, you know, fabulous, really fabulous. My favourite song, what's my favourite song going to be? I think I'm going to give it to Blood Bros at the moment because that one just like stuck out to me as like the rhythm was different. The harmony was really interesting, but it also didn't really have a verse chorus structure, which I thought was really interesting. And I loved this kind of feeling of like devotion to somebody as well. That I just thought was really palpable in that song. So I think at the moment I'm going to say that, but I feel like it's probably going to change the more I listen. Yeah, make sure to let me know what your top 5 songs are in the comments. As always, thank you for joining me for this album reaction. If you want to check out my episode of the podcast that was about Paramore, then I'll leave a link here. And if you want to check out the Patreon, it's here. And if you want to check out my reaction to This Is Why, I'll leave a link here as well.